Good morning, Grade 10. Grade 10 Macedonia, Moab, and Nazareth. It's our part 3 in preparing vegetable dishes. There are two expected learning competencies in this part 3. 1. Prepare suitable sauces and accompaniment in serving vegetable dishes. And 2. Thaw frozen ingredients and wash raw vegetables following standard procedures. Sauces, garnishes, and accompaniments are additions to the main ingredient of a meal used to enhance the flavor, color, aroma, and overall presentation of the meal. So by definition, a sauce is a term used in cookery to describe a wide range of flavored liquids that are served as part of a meal or dish. The addition of a sauce to a dish can be used to transform the overall presentation of a dish by adding flavor, moisture, richness, and of course, visual appeal. Sauces comes in a variety of different styles and consistencies. They can be thick or thin, rich and creamy, or light and delicate. Depending on the purpose, sauces can be strongly flavored, hot and spicy, or even sweet to be served with a dessert. The way in which the sauce is presented will vary depend on the dish being served. The sauce may be served partially masked over the food, served under the food, or served in a separate dish. Basically, there are four types of sauces. We have the vinegar sauce, sweet and mustard sauce, yogurt sauce, and carrot and pepper sauce. A vinegar sauce is light, easy sauce that supplies a sweet, spicy Asian flair to steamed vegetables. A sweet mustard sauce provides a blend of sweet and tangy flavors to accentuate the flavors of steamed vegetables. So ingredients for this are the following: vinegar, sugar, mustard powder, and a slightly beaten egg. Now, we have yogurt sauce. The yogurt sauce in Indian cuisine is called raita and may contain cucumbers, red onion, cilantro, and spices like ground coriander and ground cumin. Carrot and pepper sauce adds fiery flavor to steamed vegetables. Start with a fresh squeezed lemon or lime juice, then blend in minced chili peppers such as Anaheim, habanero, or jalapeno peppers, minced garlic, grated carrots, and a small amount of sugar. Serve carrot and pepper sauce for dipping or drizzle it sparingly over steamed vegetables like potato or broccoli. Moving on to techniques in storing vegetables, there are 7 points to consider. 1. Refrigerate peppers, lettuce, and vegetables in the cabbage family. Certain vegetables lose their flavor if they are refrigerated. Others must be refrigerated to keep them fresh and slow down spoilage. Broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, carrots, celery, lettuce, peas, and peppers must be kept inside the refrigerator unless they are not yet ripe, in which case you will want to leave them out on your counter for a day or two until they reach the correct ripeness. So you should place them in the refrigerator afterwards. For number 2, store vegetables at room temperatures. Some vegetables are damaged quickly by cold temperatures. These varieties should be kept at room temperature and should only be refrigerated if you use a portion of the vegetable and have leftovers. So remember, room temperature lang dapat ang eggplant, cucumbers, squash, and tomatoes. Moving on to number 3, keep certain items in a cool and dry location. Some vegetables must be stored in a cool, dark, and dry location to slow down spoilage and prevent new growth. So examples of these vegetables are garlic, sweet potatoes, onions, and turnips. They should not be refrigerated unless you cut them and use only a portion of them. Potatoes and turnips should be wholly used. No portion of them can be stored raw in the refrigerator without breaking down quickly. For number 4, separate onions and potatoes. Not all vegetables can be stored in the same area. Potatoes and onions both put off gases that will cause more rapid spoilage if they are stored near one another. You should also pay attention when storing refrigerated items. Store fruits and vegetables in separate drawers to lengthen the life of both. Ripening fruit produces more ethylene gas, and many vegetables are extra sensitive so that gas and exposure can lead to rapid spoilage. Number 5 is you have to avoid direct sunlight. Keep vegetables in shaded area of your kitchen. Even when storing varieties that do not require a dark and cool location, you should still avoid sunlight. Direct sun exposure leads to ripening. Excess sunlight leads to over-ripening and, therefore, for rapid spoilage. Number 6, minimize damage and remove damaged items from storage. Bruises, scrapes, and punctures to the skin of your veggies compromise them quickly. Microbes can make their way to the flesh of the vegetable, and the damaged area provides a breeding ground. Use a damaged vegetable as soon as you discover it and remove the bad ones immediately. Remove it from where you have your other vegetables stored, as the microbes that have found in their way into the vegetable will soon find your other produce as well. So pag may nakita tayong may damage na, gamitin na natin kung kaya pang tanggalin yung part na may damage. At kapag may nakita natin na may damage na, ilayo natin ito doon sa mga good quality fruits kasi yung mikrobyo na mayroon doon sa damaged vegetable na yon ay madali yung lilipat doon sa mga good quality natin na vegetable. For number 7, place cut vegetables in the refrigerator. Once you cut into most vegetables, you need to refrigerate any unused portion. Cooler temperatures slow down the production of microbes that would otherwise quickly rot your produce. As soon as you peel, cut, slice, or dice, the shelf life of the vegetable is decreased. There are at least 5 things to consider when plating a vegetable dish. 1. Choose the plate. 2. Place ingredients. 3. Pay attention to details. 4. Design and create with sauces. And 5. Use garnishes purposely. For number 1, we need to choose a plate that allows your food to stand out but does not make your food portions look small. So in short, tamang-tama lang dapat yung size. Hindi maliit, hindi naman masyadong malaki. It is wiser to choose white plates because they create high contrast and provide a neutral background for your colorful creations. Kaya yung standard na color na ginagamit natin sa food and beverage ay kulay puti. Utilize white space by thinking of the rim as your frame and consider using the rule of thirds to highlight your plate's focal points. Place the focal point of your dish at either the left or right side of the plate rather than the center. Number 2, place ingredients. Place a clock in your mind. Your protein should be between 3 and 9, your starch and carbohydrates from 9 and 12, and your vegetable between 12 and 3. Place moist or runny ingredients at the base or place other foods on top of them to hold them down. You can angle sliced meat or vegetables against purees and mashed vegetables. Always give guests odd quantities to create more visual appeal. When serving bite-sized appetizers, create forkfuls of food that combine all of the ingredients in your dish into one bite. Find a focal point to ensure that the accompanying ingredients complement your ingredient. Number three, pay attention to details. Create visual appeal by adding accent points and pairing vegetables with complementary colors. Balance tall ingredients by leaning them against long or flat items. Use contrasting and appealing texture to enhance your dish. Contrasting a smooth vegetable puree with a crunchy onion straw or topping a steak with crumbled blue cheese creates appealing texture combinations that are classic in high-end cuisine. Number 4. Design and create with sauces. Design your plate by creating accent dots using sauces on one side or lightly drizzling them over the main ingredients so guests get a little bit of sauce in every bite. And number 5, use garnishes purposely. Garnishes should be edible and related to the dish to enhance and complement the flavors of the entree. And of course, you have to scatter garnishes around the plate to add color and texture. For the rules of plating, we have the following. 1. Avoid overloading the plates. 2. Mix crisp and soft, large and small, and dark and light elements. You can use the sauce as decoration. Serve additional sauce on the side or in a small stylish jar. Sliced vegetables and fruits using various and surprising combinations to make great-looking garnishes. Number 3, add colorful decorative elements. And number 4, leave a regular blank space between your composition and the edge of the plate. In Asian cuisine, visual presentation is as much a part of the dining experience as the taste of the food itself. So ano nga ba yung tips kung paano mag-plate ng Asian dishes correctly? So we have communal, individual, and one-dish meal. For communal, sharing is an important aspect of the Asian dining culture and communal dishes are very common. The following are some examples of how communal dishes can be plated elegantly. Ano ba yung example? Common yung dishes. Ibig sabihin, pagsasalu-saluhan ito ng iba't ibang individuals. Pag sinabi naman nating individual, ito naman yung plating na good for one. One serving. Ito naman yung Western presentation technique. Moving on to one dish meal, you should balance the color and texture in a plate. Ito yung tinatawag nating one dish meal. Lagay natin yung starch at the center of the plate or the bowl. And then yung protein, pwedeng sa top of the starch and the vegetables are placed around the dishes. We have three factors of plating. 1, molded ingredients. 2, sauces. And 3, garnishes. For molded ingredients, we have cleverly cut or sculptured ingredients enhance the visual appeal of dishes. Slice meat fillets at a bias to show doneness and quality. Sculpted food also provides height and structure and keeps the plate neat and clean. For sauces, we can create accents in the form of dots on the side of the plate. When applying a sauce, lightly pour or drizzle it over or underneath the main ingredient. Number 3. Garnishes come in a variety of shapes and sizes, depending on the meal being served and the level of service required. Garnishes should be fresh, colorful, edible, and should be suited to the meal. There are some guidelines in applying garnishes. Letter A, Refrain from heaping garnishing on one corner of the plate. B. Provide a splash of color and shapes by arranging the garnishes around the main dish. C. Garnishes should be edible. And D. Garnishing should be applied quickly to ensure the food arrives at the table warm. Alright, so tatandaan natin, pag tayo ay gumagamit ng garnishing, hindi magandang tignan yung nakatumpok lang siya sa isang corner ng plate. Kailangan maganda yung pagkakalagay natin, nice and attractive to look at. And then yung colors and shape, i-consider natin kung ano ba yung ating main dish. Halimbawa, steak. So ano ba yung colors and shape na magmamatch doon sa steak? And then, ang garnishes dapat ay it goes well with the dish. Ito ay katerno, kaulam, nagbibigay siya ng parang accompaniments. Hindi dapat siya artificial. Dapat siya natural. Ito ay pwedeng kainin kasama ng main dish. And most importantly, yung mabilis inilalagay para mai-serve mo ng hot yung food doon sa client. Hindi yung nung binigay sa'yo, mainit pa dahil ang tagal mong nilagyan ng garnishing, lumamig na siya. So, yung satisfaction ng client, mababawasan na yon. Kaya kailangan, hot food should be served hot. Moving on to the last part, safety and hygienic practices in the kitchen. 1. Wear appropriate and clean clothing when cooking. 2. Never cook in loose clothes and keep long hair tied back. 3. Store knives in a wooden block or in a drawer. Number 4. Keep pot holders nearby and use them. 5. Do not let temperature-sensitive foods sit out in the kitchen. Number 6. Separate raw meat and poultry from other items whenever you use or store them. So remember yung principle ng cross-contamination. Number 7. When possible, use a kitchen tool, not your hands, to complete the task. So ito yung tinatawag nating avoid bare hand contact. Number 8. Wipe up spills immediately. Keep the floor dry so that no one slips and falls. And number 9. Get a fire extinguisher and first aid kit for your kitchen. So aside from those mentioned, let us also remember the things that our parents or guardians keep on telling us. Diba? Sabi nila, wash your hands before handling food and after handling meat, fish, or poultry. Repeatedly wash your hands when necessary, especially after coughing, sneezing, or using the restroom. You have to wash the dishes, pans, utensils as you use them, allowing them to dry on drain boards when possible. And when tasting foods, use a spoon other than the one used for stirring. Use a clean spoon for each person's tasting and for each time food is tasted. So yun yung palaging bilin sa atin ng ating mga parents and guardian kasi gusto nilang maging maayos tayo. Na time will come, pag tayo ay namumuhay na mag-isa, lagi nating maaalala yung mga pinag-aaralan natin sa cookery at yung mga bilin ng ating mga magulang. So in closing, allow me to read a verse from the First Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 18, and it says, "In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you." Alright, for our written works and performance tasks, see you later inside our virtual classroom. Are you learning, guys? I hope you are. This has been your teacher Malou Obispo saying thank you for listening and may God bless us all. Bye!